This is Fat to Fierce. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles. I'm your host, Amy English. Join me on this empowering adventure towards a healthier relationship with food, body, and self, one delicious bite at a time. Hello, welcome to episode 17 of the Confidence Chronicles. I hope you're having a great week so far. Today, we're diving deep into the connection between body acceptance and emotional eating. Ever feel stuck in a battle with your body, struggling with negative self-image and turning to food for comfort? Yeah, you're not alone. Let's explore how to break free from this cycle and cultivate a healthier relationship with both your body and food. But first, let's clear up a common misconception. Body acceptance is not about loving every inch of yourself all the time. Body acceptance is the opposite of negative body image. Imagine negative self-talk as a harsh critic constantly pointing out flaws. This negativity can be overwhelming, leading to emotional eating as a temporary escape. Emotional eating is a way to cope with those difficult emotions. It is a distraction, but the comfort it provides is fleeting. Often, emotional eating leads to guilt, regret, and reinforces the negative body image cycle. Body acceptance, on the other hand, is about making peace with your body and learning healthier ways to manage your emotions. As you accept your body, the need to numb those negative feelings with food naturally diminishes. You develop a more peaceful relationship with food, focusing on nourishment rather than punishment or comfort. Think of it like this. If your body is a house, negative body image is constantly criticizing the paint color, the carpet, or the size of the rooms. It might feel like you need to escape this environment, and food becomes a temporary solution to do that. However, body acceptance is about acknowledging your home, appreciating its functionality, and finding healthier ways to improve it when you're ready. This shift in perspective helps break the cycle of emotional eating and fosters a more positive relationship with both your body and food. Body acceptance is crucial for overall well-being and will have a significant impact on mental, physical, and emotional health goals. In other words, if you want to improve your health, maintain weight loss, or simply feel better, body acceptance is a critical piece of the puzzle. People often think they can't accept their body until they reach a certain weight, which is a misconception that hinders their progress and destroys their peace. Quick story for you. When I lost 100 pounds the first time back in 2013, I still was not accepting of my body. Not only did I not accept my body, I flat out despised my body. My inner critic was harsh and loud. Losing 100 pounds wasn't enough. I had to keep going. I had to lose more. The truth is, it never would have been enough. I never would have been satisfied because I was still holding a negative attitude towards my body. Losing all that weight didn't change the underlying relationship with my body or with food. And that's because I was letting my critic run the show. Now, I never knew the link between body acceptance and emotional eating until I started this work, the work of becoming a life coach. And I truly believe this is what keeps people on the dreaded hamster wheel or yo-yo. It's one of those things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I'm talking about the link between body acceptance and emotional eating. But once you see it, then you can get to work on healing. All right, so let's zoom in and see how negative thoughts about our bodies can actually lead to emotional eating. It's kind of a cycle, and here's how it goes. When you're constantly judging your appearance and putting yourself down, it's like a punch to the gut. It can lead to a whole wave of negative emotions like stress, shame, anxiety, you name it. These yucky feelings can then feel overwhelming. And for many people, food becomes a way to cope. It can feel like a quick fix, a distraction, or even just a way to numb those emotions for a little while. Sugary, fatty, processed foods are especially tempting because they trigger the reward system in your brain. Remember episode 16 on cravings? If you haven't listened to that one yet, I highly recommend taking a listen to it. Okay, so the problem is that feel-good feeling from food is super short-lived. And more importantly, it doesn't actually address the root cause of those negative emotions. So you end up feeling unsatisfied and maybe even worse about yourself, which can make you more likely to turn to emotional eating again later. And then emotional eating makes you feel like you're spiraling out of control. You might start with the intention of just having a small treat, but then you end up overeating because you're not really listening to your body's hunger cues. And guess what? This overeating can lead to weight gain or the fear of weight gain, which can then reinforce that negative body image you started with in the first place. Whew. And then there's the restriction overeating loop. Let's dive into this a little bit because we've all been there, right? It feels relentless, like you're on a hamster wheel going nowhere fast. Let's break it down stage by stage. Okay, so first, there's the great restriction. It usually starts with a good intention, like wanting to lose weight or fit into those dream jeans you've got hanging in your closet. We crave control and a quick fix, so we jump into super restrictive eating patterns. Think severely cutting calories, ditching entire food groups, hello carbs, or skipping meals altogether, like intermittent fasting. The body fights back. Our bodies are amazing machines, and they don't take kindly to being starved. When you deprive yourself for too long, your body fights back. Hunger hormones can go into overdrive, and you're hit with intense cravings. Suddenly, you feel completely out of control around food. It's like your body is saying, hey, remember those calories you weren't giving me? I want them all now. And then comes the inevitable overeating. You might even experience FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like you have to make up for all that lost time and eat everything in sight before it disappears again. And after the overeating, what happens then? Well, insert the shame spiral. A whole lot of negative self-talk telling you that you failed or lost control. Societal pressure to be thin doesn't help any of this. And that voice in your head whispers that your worth is tied to your appearance. It's exhausting. So you vow to start over tomorrow with even stricter rules this time. It feels like the only way to undo the damage and regain control. But here's the kicker. This whole cycle that I've just described just keeps repeating. It messes with your weight, ruins your relationship with food, and leaves you feeling like you're constantly at war with yourself. This cycle is not only exhausting, but also counterproductive. But here's the good news. There is a better way. Breaking free from this cycle requires a shift in focus from weight loss to body acceptance and intuitive eating. So let's talk about how focusing on accepting your body instead of constantly trying to change it can actually help you have a better relationship with food. Okay. When you're always battling your body and feeling like you need to shrink it, it creates a lot of pressure. Food becomes this reward you withhold from yourself or the enemy that's sabotaging your progress. This makes it really hard to listen to your body's natural hunger and fullness cues. But when you accept your body, that pressure starts to loosen its grip. You're not constantly stressed and guilty about your appearance. This allows you to approach food with a more relaxed and mindful perspective. You can start to see it as fuel for your amazing body and not a tool for punishment. Think about it. When you restrict yourself from certain foods, it makes them seem even more forbidden and desirable. This can lead to intense cravings and eventually binges. On the other hand, body acceptance helps you ditch the forbidden foods mentality. You can enjoy all foods in moderation without the guilt. And here's the key. Body acceptance creates the foundation for intuitive eating. This means listening to your body's internal signals for hunger, fullness, satisfaction, and even rest. You learn to eat when you're truly hungry and stop when you're comfortably full or satisfied, focusing on nourishing your body rather than a specific weight or appearance. By accepting your body, you can finally see food as fuel, the good stuff that keeps you going and makes you feel great. All right, so how exactly does accepting your body benefit you? Well, buckle up because the good stuff is coming. We've talked a lot about the, let's talk about the, All right. First off, let's talk mental health, okay? Constantly putting yourself down about your body is a huge stressor. Imagine the mental energy you would free up by accepting yourself. That's more brain power for the things that truly matter. Plus, focusing on what your body can do, all the amazing things it allows you to experience every single day, creates a much more positive and mindful connection with yourself. Body acceptance also does wonders for your self-esteem. So instead of dwelling on perceived flaws, you start to see your strengths and accomplishments. It's a shift from, I hate my thighs, to, wow, I crushed that workout. Or, hey, these legs help me walk every day. Or these arms help me open doors and hug my loved ones. All of this builds a much stronger and more positive self-image. Think about it. Accepting your body is an act of self-love. It tells yourself you're worthy of happiness just the way you are. And let's not forget about confidence. When you're not bogged down by negative body image, you're free to step outside your comfort zone and truly embrace life. Acceptance allows you to rock that outfit you love, try a new activity, or simply hold your head a little bit higher. And it's confidence from the inside out. So, are you ready to take action and start experiencing the benefits of body acceptance for yourself? It is a journey, and I'll never say it's easy, but it's doable, and there are steps you can take right now to get started. First, it's all about shifting your mindset. Okay, that's where we want to start. We often get stuck in negative self-talk about our bodies. I'm going to invite you to challenge those thoughts. When you notice a negative thought about your body, ask yourself this question: what else could be true? Focus on your strengths and what you appreciate about your body. There are so many things that your body naturally does every single day that we don't even think about. Create new thoughts and practice reminding yourself of them every time the negative thoughts come. Because listen, and this is important, negative thoughts aren't going to stop. Even after all the years of me doing this work, do you think I never have negative thoughts? No, of course I get them daily, multiple times throughout the day. It's just they're not as loud. My critic is not as strong. My critic is also not as harsh. So even though sometimes there will be negative thoughts, they're nothing like what they used to be back in the day before I started doing this work. It's just that my inner ally has become more vocal and has become louder than my critic. And that's all because I was focusing on what else could be true. So back to the arms for just a second. So my arms have always been a quote unquote problem area for me. I have larger arms and it's always bothered me. So instead of thinking my arms look terrible, oh, here's something I used to say, and I can't believe I'm about to admit this on this podcast, but some of y'all might be able to relate. I used to often say, I wish I could just cut off the fat on my arms. Oh, it just pains me to say that now. But that is a regular thought I would have in my head, and sometimes I would speak it out loud. Once I started focusing on body acceptance, I was able to look at my arms in a whole other way. I was able to, think of them as, wow, my arms help me open doors. They help me hug my babies. My kids were little when I started this work and became a life coach. And so that was one thing I used to always think about, is how my arms helped me hug my babies. So it can be really helpful to think of the way that your body, the different parts of your body help you through each day, like how our lungs help us breathe. Because our internal organs are as much a part of this as the rest of our body. Okay, so instead of focusing on what your body looks like, focus on what it can do. Can you walk, run, jump, dance, and again, hug the people you love? Gratitude for these abilities is a powerful tool for body acceptance. It helps to shift the focus. Now, when it comes to social media, this can be a double-edged sword. It can be very helpful to unfollow accounts that make you feel bad about yourself and curate a feed that inspires you with body positivity and self-love. Okay? Very, very important to pay close attention. This speaks to your environment, right? Pay close attention to who you're paying attention to, who you're watching, who you're listening to, and really change it up so that the messaging you're receiving feels better. Okay, now let's talk about practicing some self-compassion, because this is also really important. Instead of striving to love every part of your body right away, because listen, again, this can be complicated, especially in the beginning. if you're going from a place where you have such a negative view of your body, it's going to feel very challenging to change that negativity, okay? So we don't want to try to do all of this all at once. It's okay to take baby steps, and it's definitely okay to aim for neutrality. So acknowledge your body as a vessel for experiencing life without judgment. So what I mean by neutrality is you don't have to say, I love my arms. Because listen, in the beginning, that wasn't true for me, okay? And it may or may not be true for you. So again, that's where it's helpful to just aim for something neutral, like, oh, my arms help me do this. Or, you know what, my stomach, instead of talking about how much you dislike your stomach, oh, like, my stomach helps me process food or whatever. Aim for something more neutral and more of a function, as opposed to like, oh, I love my stomach, right? That's just going to feel like a stretch, and it's almost going to feel like you're lying to yourself in the beginning, and then that's not going to be very helpful, okay? So again, aim for neutrality in the beginning if that feels a little bit easier. I'm trying to think of an example. Here's one. Here's a better one. So instead of, I love my stomach, this is my stomach, okay? Like, I hope that lands for you. That's actually a real time example that I used to use in the beginning. Instead of, I love my arms, when I hated them for 20, 30 years. Oh, these are my arms, right? That's the neutrality I'm talking about. Okay. Also, practice treating yourself with kindness. I also know this can be challenging in the beginning. Listen, I don't know where it starts or where it stems from. And I mean, I could probably go on for hours and hours having this conversation and trying to figure it out. But we're not always very nice to ourselves. You probably wouldn't talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself. So practice being kind and gentle with yourself and with that inner voice, just as you would be with someone you care about. Really start to notice the harsh statements from your inner critic. And listen, we all have an inner critic, but we also have an inner ally. What would your inner ally say? Think about it. We automatically listen to that critic, and we don't take into consideration what the ally might be saying. And just understand that this is going to take time to practice, and that's okay. We're not going to take years and decades of, being a certain way and change it overnight. It's just not going to happen. This is going to take time. And finally, embracing a healthier lifestyle goes hand in hand with body acceptance. Think of food as fuel for your amazing body and not a tool for punishment or control. And so choose nourishing foods that help you feel good, both physically and mentally. Find ways to move your body that you enjoy and that feel good. I mean, it might be dancing or swimming or hiking or yoga, or maybe just going for a walk around the block. Focus on the feeling of movement and how it makes you feel, rather than burning calories. And be sure to celebrate those non-scale victories. Instead of getting bogged down by weights and the number on the scale, celebrate how your body is getting stronger, more flexible, or has more energy. Just remember, body acceptance is a journey. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your progress every day. And don't be afraid to seek support if you need it. There are amazing resources available to help you on this path. And if you would like some help getting started on your journey to body acceptance, I'm going to invite you to head over to my website. It's amyenglishcc.com. There I have a self-paced program. It's called Fat to Fierce, and you can get started today when you purchase that program for $99. It's going to teach you how to start listening to your ally instead of your critic. And it's really going to teach you how to build a fierce mind, body, and heart with the outcome of overcoming emotional eating and feeling at peace with both food and your body. All right. Thank you for joining me on this episode. And remember, you are worthy of love and acceptance regardless of your size or shape. Embrace your body, take care of it, live your best life. Are you ready to take control of your eating, embrace your body, and boost your confidence? Then let's get fierce. Start your Fat to Fierce journey today. Go to amyenglishcc.com for more resources and to book your discovery call.